What would happen if one day the oceans disappeared? Billions of lives would be wiped out. Forests would wither away. The air would turn thick and toxic. Humans would desperately fight over every last drop of water. The ice would melt. Firestorms would rage across the planet. There would be no more lush green crops. Massive whale pods would vanish forever. And eventually, humanity itself would cease to exist. When the oceans die, Earth signs its own death warrant. Are you ready to face this terrifying truth? Let's explore. What would happen to our ecosystem if the oceans disappeared? We've already witnessed the horrifying vision of a world without oceans, but why would everything collapse so catastrophically? First of all, oceans cover about 71% of the Earth's surface. They're not just beautiful blue patches on a map. They're the foundation of life itself. A planet without oceans would be nothing more than a barren wasteland. No life, no hope. And here's the even more astonishing fact. Over 50% of the oxygen you're breathing right now, every single breath you're taking, is produced by tiny organisms floating in the oceans. Without the oceans, the atmosphere would become heavy and suffocating. Humanity wouldn't just be fighting for water, but for every precious breath. That's not all. Oceans regulate the global climate. They absorb heat from the sun and move warm and cold currents around to keep Earth from getting too hot or too cold. If the oceans disappeared, our planet would spiral into climate chaos. Some places would turn into blazing deserts, while others would freeze into icy wastelands. There would be no more cool springs or pleasant autumns, only brutal extremes. On top of that, the oceans are home to more than 70% of all life on Earth, from tiny fish to massive whales, from vibrant coral reefs to strange creatures lurking in the deepest abysses. The death of the oceans would mean the complete loss of biodiversity, the very foundation of ecosystems. And let's not forget, billions of people around the world rely on seafood as a daily food source. If the oceans were drained, the global food crisis wouldn't just be headlines in the news. It would be knocking on every door, touching every child, every meal. Extreme climate change. The ocean today works like a massive air conditioner, keeping Earth cool and stable. It absorbs enormous amounts of heat from the sun and redistributes that heat across the planet. But when that air conditioner disappears, temperatures will skyrocket, completely out of control. Earth will heat up rapidly, not over centuries, but within just a few decades. Cities that were once cool will turn into giant ovens. Rivers will evaporate. Farmlands will crack and dry. And then, the deserts will begin to spread. Desertification will no longer be a concern for just a few regions. It will consume entire continents. Africa, Asia, the Americas. Places once lush with greenery will be reduced to dust and bare rock. No rain, no trees, no crops. Earth, once a lush green paradise, will become a scorched and barren hell. The collapse of the global food chain. Fish, those seemingly simple creatures, are actually a vital link in the ocean's ecosystem. They are a primary food source for countless species, from seabirds soaring in the skies to giant sea monsters lurking in the deep. When the ocean disappears, it's not just the water that vanishes, but the life within it as well. Fish, the lifeblood of marine ecosystems, will be gone. And when they vanish, the entire food chain begins to unravel. Seabirds will start starving, with nothing left to hunt. Large marine animals like sharks, whales, and seals, once rulers of the ocean, will weaken and go extinct, one after another. One broken link, and the entire system collapses. And that collapse won't stay beneath the waves. It will rise to the surface and reach our very dinner tables. Densely populated coastal regions will become desolate. Fishing communities that have existed for thousands of years will quietly disappear. And nations that once relied on the ocean for survival will be forced to face a brutal truth. There's nothing left to save. What will happen to land ecosystems? As the climate spirals out of control and the oceans, the source of the water cycle, vanish, drought becomes the new normal. With no rain and rivers drying up, farmlands scorch and crack under the relentless sun. Crops fail, agriculture collapses, and food security is thrown into chaos. Food prices skyrocket. Hunger spreads across the globe, even to the richest cities. Society plunges into crisis. Riots erupt, and nations may go to war over food and water. Earth becomes a dead planet. Drought, famine, and food shortages, they're just the beginning. Once the oceans vanish, Earth enters an unstoppable downward spiral. Freshwater runs dry. No more rain. No more rivers. Lakes turn into cracked, barren pits. People fight to survive, not for money, not for gold, but for a single drop of water. No more clean water from the tap. Only life or death journeys in search of it. Mass migration begins. Billions flee the parched wastelands, desperately searching for places with a little water and food. Cities collapse. Borders crumble. The world becomes a tide of desperate humanity drifting across a dying planet. And then comes war. Not over oil, not over gold, but over water. Meanwhile, Earth keeps heating up. With no oceans left to absorb CO2, the greenhouse effect explodes. Temperatures skyrocket. No one can stop it. Superstorms, relentless droughts, wildfires everywhere. Earth turns into a massive pressure cooker. Nowhere is safe. Eventually, nothing survives. Food is gone. Air is toxic. The heat is unbearable. A wave of mass extinction sweeps across the planet. Not just the weak, not just the rare, but even the strongest fall, including us. Earth, once a brilliant blue gem in the cosmos, becomes nothing more than a cold, dead, lifeless world. But wait, this story isn't over yet. The ocean is still here, but it's more wounded than ever before. Every hour, every minute, it's suffering from pollution, overexploitation, and human neglect. We don't need to wait until the ocean completely disappears to feel the consequences. They've already begun, silently spreading. The good news? We still have time, but not much. So, what can we do? Reduce ocean pollution. Every clean river leads to a healthier ocean. Protect marine life, not just the beautiful fish or coral reefs. Every creature, big or small, plays a vital role in the ecosystem. Cut down plastic waste. That plastic bag or straw you refuse today could save a marine life tomorrow. Let's not kid ourselves. Science and technology can't replace the ocean. There's no super filter, no artificial ocean, no plan B for our water and climate. There is only one ocean. We're the ones hurting it, but we can also be the ones to heal it. Protecting the ocean is protecting the future of humanity. Act now, for the planet, for yourself, for generations to come. If you believe this message matters, don't forget to leave a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Let's protect our planet together. Thank you for watching and being with us on this journey.